Hell yeah. Alright, we're surfing it up. So this is Brennan's wave. Obviously the first go I can't paddle into it. But we're gonna do a whole voiceover for all this. And this is a pretty cool flow. So second surf, hell yeah, we're doing good. There's a big pile right there. You know what I mean? And heck yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good about that pile. You get kicked off to the right pretty easily. But yeah, good. Analyzing my other video, hell yeah, I'm trying to get my whole body down into that wave. It's a small wave, so instead of trying to get my body on top of the foam, of the pile or whatever, on top of the wave, it's more trying to keep my weight down low in that wave. And we got a whole hour of this, and hell yeah, I think we do pretty good right here. So right here, you know what I mean? Just on that left side, it's kind of easy money, and then it kind of floats you in. Alright, and it's pretty fast right in the middle. Yep, so you get kind of kicked off the middle. So the two good spots are entering kind of on the left. And this entrance is pretty nice, because I can just stay here. I think I just stay here for this one, just a couple. Now, you do get kicked out pretty easily, you know what I mean, just like that. So you can't stay permanently into that location. That's the cool thing about waves. It's like, you kind of always have to be doing something. When you think you're just totally stationary and balanced, you know, the wave's going to kick you out. Alright, hell yeah. So I'm just went across that foam. So right there, there's a pretty decent pile. And it would have been sweet if I actually turned and got back in there. But we do some pretty good surfing today. And then over on this side is real good, because it's real bitey. But sure enough, you know what I mean, the first time I miss it. And we'll see how this... no, we're still... Now we're on this side. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, this side's pretty sweet, you know what I mean? You can just drop in pretty easy. So I'm right over the big foam. Yeah, I don't know. So where my paddle just was, you know what I mean? That's, I would call that a wave with a pile. When I surf, it definitely feels like it has a pile. And so especially when I enter right here, it's nice and stable. But the second I get kicked over to the right, it definitely pushes me out into the center. Alright, so hell yeah. So on this left side, you do have a nice balancing point. You know what I mean? You can just play around right there for a while. And I'm just getting my bearing and stuff, you know what I mean? So it ain't no thing. But yeah, this is really good for me to do a voiceover, you know, because I just did this today. You know what I mean? It was like 3 or 4 hours ago. Hell yeah. So now I'm surfing over to the middle. You know what I mean? And, hell yeah, feeling pretty good. And that right side is real sticky over there. You know what I mean? But, shoot, I kind of have to paddle into it. You know what I mean? It's still, that right side's kicking me out. And that's a little bit different compared to last week. And the reason, there's ice on the edges of this wave, and so it's making it faster in the middle. The water can't go over the rocks, you know what I mean, on the outside, so it really channels the flow through the middle. So it's it's a little more washy. But hell yeah, we do some pretty good stuff today. So alright, hell yeah. So I'm right over that foam pile, you know what I mean? Right, kind of getting kicked off that foam pile on the left side. I don't have a cursor for this one. This is just a straight voiceover, so... but yeah, right now my boat is definitely to the left of the foam pile. And I guess I'm just getting my bearing. You know, there's two other kayakers show up today. And, yeah, the one that shows up in about... I don't know, probably just 10, 20 minutes. Okay, hell yeah, here we go. Yeah, so there you go. I'm surfing across that foam pile and then trying to high side, and then I just pop out. But yeah, once I see this kayaker surf it up, I was just like, oh, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Because what I'm trying to do is R1 raft surf, and not too many people do this. You know what I mean? So I don't have any videos for me to watch. You know what I mean? So I just watch my own videos and try to just get a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's pretty washy today, but we do some really good surfs. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna have to watch them all. It's a whole hour of this. Okay, hell yeah. I'm just trying to get feel. Yeah, so there you go. Kind of biting. And now I'm trying to angle it just a little bit left because that foam pile is just on my left. Now I'm on top of that pile. So I'll talk about that pile quite a bit. Hell yeah, yeah, for sure. Now I'm just kind of just right over that foam pile. But we really work that foam pile today. After that kayaker comes, he can just carve back and forth. And then once I see that, it's just like, oh, hell yeah, I can do that. I can get my body weight on top of that foam pile and find my edges. So we kind of do that today, which is pretty sweet. Now, I don't know, maybe I didn't, I wanted to watch all my paddling. So anytime I'm on that other side of the river, we watch ourselves paddle all the way in. And I probably don't even make it. No, there you go. All right, hell yeah, we're surfing. So yeah, I'm getting my position is just a little bit lower, not in the boat, but see how I kick my knees out. And then when I jump back, I can throw the boat forward. So that's kind of what we're doing. And then kind of high siding at an angle, finding that pile. You know, I don't want to flip today. You know what I mean? I can only flip a couple times. And actually, I don't flip. I fall out twice, so we got footage of that. But no flipping. So that's good. Because I actually don't have a flip line underneath my boat. Because I want to make it fast. You know what I mean? These small waves are hard enough to catch your boat. So I don't want any other ropes underneath my boat. Alright, hell yeah. So I'm just kind of angled to the left. That's not super fun, but it's just, I know I'm going to catch it. There we go. Now we're in it. A little bit deeper over there. It kicks you to the center, but now I really want to work this pile. I'm just so fascinated. You know what I mean? But I just get kicked out. You know what I mean? It's not until the kayaker comes and I'm like, oh, I can carve back and forth on the pile. So we do that. Okay, changing the angle, you know what I mean? And maybe this isn't good. You know, maybe you like the other angle where now you... But I like this angle because you can tell the wave is vertical. And I don't know, you can just kind of tell like more, especially maybe going up against the foam pile or whatever, that you do have a wall of water. And that's the reason your boat's kind of surfing. Alright, you know what I mean? So I added these clips in here, you know, especially if I miss it, because then I can analyze, like, what was I doing wrong? Alright, hell yeah, that right side's nice and bitey. But I still kind of want to work to the left. I kind of want, yeah, that was the goal today. I really wanted that. So that's kind of what we practice. It's just like, hey, can I go from right to left on this wave? You know what I mean? And then can I carve it up? It's the basics of surfing in a surfboard on a river wave or definitely a kayak. You know, edge control, carving back and forth on a wave. Now I'm only on one side in R1, but today I do pretty well using just this one side and able to carve back and forth. Okay, so get over there. And, okay, hell yeah. So now we're over here, and at least we're aiming our boat at the wave. You know what I mean? We're getting bucked, and then we're turning our boat to where it needs to be. Hell yeah. So there you go. But right here, I just need to high side and find my way back in. Holy Toledo, I do. For sure. I could have high sided a little bit more and just kept the spin going. So anytime my boat's spinning, I'm gonna make a mental note right now, and I ain't going back on. You know, I don't have a clicker either. We can't watch that one again. You can go back and watch it, and I'll probably do the same. But hell yeah! just keep that. If I notice my boat's turning and I'm high siding, just let it go, um, until at least you get past the horizontal, you know what I mean, or vertical with the river, because then then you can let the back in, and it might help generate your spin. All right, so even I don't like getting kicked out, so even just right there, we went way far right, and then it was easier to cut across. But hell yeah, okay. There's that foam pile, at least. You know what I mean? You try little things. All right, so it's a lot brighter. It's not evening time, but I definitely want the sun is kind of going down, and I don't want the footage to come out too dark. So we adjust our settings, increase our ISO. All right, hell yeah, you know what I mean. I'll take it. This whole video is just like, hey, this was every surf. You know what I mean. This is what the whole session looks like. You win some, you lose some, but damn, that was hella, like, for sure. I don't know if I'd put that into a move, but we do have some pretty good moves. But yeah, it's stuff like that. It's just like you know what I mean. Can I doing different things, making sure everything. I'm not just doing the same thing over and over again, because especially with rafting and raft surfing, especially if you're not surfing very well, you're probably just doing the same thing over and over again that's not working, and so I'm trying my best to actually high side that wave, but there you go. So I high sided, and then I was able to try to turn my boat into it. But this kayaker, so hell yeah. So I know this kayaker just from paddling this wave, and we'll probably put I'll probably put his surfs just all in one video. But anyway, yeah. So after he surfs this like once or twice, I'm just like, oh, I get it, and because he's usually let's see where he's at. But I'll show you when he's on that wave. See, he's carving back and forth on that foam pile right there. That's the biggest part of the wave is just on this far left side, and then it's glassy and fast in the middle. And then you kind of have a little hole on that right side. So I like this on the right side because I can kind of stick my boat into this hole. But yeah, I'm really gung-ho. I want to get up. So there you go. So I'm angled over that foam pile on the left, dropping in. Hell yeah. So even just watching him like once or twice, I was just like, hell yeah, we got this. You know what I mean? And then just what I'm doing is I'm making sure my body is over that foam pile. You know what I mean? So that's been the name of the game for surfing, is get proprioception of like where am I actually sitting? Like where is my body in relation to that foam pile? You know what I mean? The top part of the wave or the face of the wave. That is key. Not like not having a proprioception of like where the nose of the boat is, but actually. So even with him, it's kind of like where, like his torso and then just like one position back, like where is he on that wave, because that's where all the forces are going to be, and that's where he can ride up the wave and then turn. So that's what I noticed. I was just like, oh, so I can kind of do like a mini high side, get up on top of that wave, and then I can turn, back and forth however I want to. All right, so let's see if we can do this. And just having other people there, you know what I mean? It's definitely motivating. You're just like, hell yeah, we're gonna go for it. So, and I think I just have just better surfs when people are watching and stuff. Especially on this wave, there's a pavilion. I don't know why I call it a pavilion. It's just like a observation deck. It's literally just a deck, but it's just nice to have people watch. And And you know what I mean. It's a cold day. They kind of just watch and for a couple, and then you know what I mean. It doesn't look like much. That's for sure. But it's entertaining. I mean, it's something. But yeah, surfing's where it's at. I mean, even just having what you feel is all the water underneath you rushing by, and that's where you kind of feel that energy. You know what I mean? You're stationary, but you feel the energy of the river underneath. Just the velocity underneath the boat is quite something. You know what I mean? So it's an optical illusion. I'm totally stationary, but it feels like I'm going hella fast or something. You know what I mean? That's why surfing is just way cool. But yeah, I mean, if the fact that I did better after this kayaker showed up, just even just watching how a kayak carves back and forth on a wave, you know what I mean? Just kind of the stable points of a kayak. But you just have edges. I mean, you can carve it like a ski. All right, hell yeah. Use that left side, and now I'm over that big pile. I really want to play around with this pile. Now, it doesn't allow you to get onto that. So, like right now, if I was just a couple more feet left, it's kind of hard to get over there. So, that's what I'm working on. You know what I mean? It really wants to put me in the middle, but my goal is to kind of work that pile on the left side. That's kind of the whole goal for the day is just be like, hell yeah, let's try to carve that up. All right, see, there's that pile. It's at least a couple feet high. You know what I mean? Or at least you can be on top of it, and then you can kind of drop down. So you either use it to your advantage, or if you get bucked up and over, you know what I mean, to your detriment. But that left side is it holds you in. Now in a kayak, in the middle is glassy, but that's a long kayak, and so you can surf it pretty easily. Now I do pretty good in the center with this wave too, so I'm pretty happy with today's conditions. All right, hell yeah. Now no, getting back to the center. Yeah, working that left side, trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? Uh, and we do have some pretty good rides on that left side, that's for sure. But it kicks you out so easy. So it is a big foam pile, but once I pop up on top, it's really hard for me to adjust my weight back down into the bottom of that hole, just the bottom of the wave. All right, hell yeah. So there you go. If I work that right side, I even get water in the boat. But that right side really wants to take the nose of my boat to the right. You know what I mean? But it is sticky over there, so I can kind of just play around. So I definitely, you know what I mean, take what you can get, and definitely have a good time on that right side. Kind of the name of the game for me is like, hey, can I learn stuff? And even just right here, I control a side surf, and my butt's almost at the bottom of the boat, and I definitely recommend this. If you're R1 rafting and doing a surf, if there's a small little hole, or this is just still a wave hole, you know what I mean? It's just real tiny. But if you can just sit in the bottom of your boat and have it side surf you, it's a really good skill because it teaches you kind of what's holding the boat in the water. Now, if I do that same thing and I sit up high, it's not going to be as effective. And there's other times, even just right here, weight shifting, I try to get my weight kind of lower in the boat. So I'll point that out if that happens. But even just getting the knees up there, hell yeah, and constantly kind of going back and forth because this wave still kicks you off real easy. I mean, it's not much of a wave, but it's perfect size for this winter. You know, just the fact that there's something to surf basically year round. It's pretty amazing. All right, hell yeah. So now I'm yeah. So now I'm over that foam pile, and that was probably the first back and forth. You know, I'll count that a back and forth. And so right now it's probably going to kick me out. But at other times I do a pretty good job of really getting back in, kind of high siding that foam pile and then getting my boat to turn. All right, so I'm over here. Now I don't want my boat to bite. It bites just a little bit, but just enough where I'm able to turn it. So I was like, hell yeah. So now I'm kind of getting used to that left side. It's not kicking me out, you know what I mean, just 100%. Okay, hell yeah. So we're kind of carving back and forth just a little bit. Over on that left side, probably going to get kicked out. But there you go. High side just a little bit. Do the same thing. Paddle back in to keep that energy. Hell yeah. Now we're carving. That's officially a couple times. Getting over here. And then yeah, carving back and forth. You know what I mean? That's this is big time for me. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, definitely good weight shift. You know, keep myself onto this small wave. But yeah, bites and kicks you out. So for how easy this wave can kick you out, and you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm pretty impressed that I can, you know, still learn a lot and keep myself on this wave. All right, hell yeah. Just kind of working that right side, working the center. So that's the center, kind of just glassy. But I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how to get inertia or just some inertia to the left side. How to surf from right to left. All right, hell yeah. See, that's exactly what you should do in a kayak. You know what I mean? Just go plug your nose into something because that's going to happen. You know what I mean? But basically, any skill. That's the fun thing about paddle sports. Is there's just so many skills to learn, and what I like a safe environment where you can just kind of learn boat control, and then hell yeah, you can take this to any river. You know what I mean? Class whatever. Um, but yeah, a surf wave is where you can get good at river sports. And I've kind of known that from the get go. You know what I mean? So even just kind of like raft guiding. At the end of the day, I would drive to this wave and just spend, you know, a couple hours just getting toasted. Oh, hell yeah, doing a spin. Oh, for sure. See, and I'm just satisfied with that. Like the second my boat goes backwards, I literally have no idea where I'm at in life. You know what I mean? So, but actually, from this footage, I can be like, no, you know what I mean? Yeah, pop in backwards, but then jump to like you know a tube or something. Don't just throw in the towel just because you're backwards. Like currently, right now, if I'm surfing backwards, I'm just knowing where the foam pile is, knowing where my boat's going to bite and turn, and then high side, just so I don't flip. But hell yeah, that's some good side surfing too. And this is a shallow ass wave, you know what I mean? So he's just like, yeah, right there. He's like, yeah, I got window shaded. I'll get window shaded every once in a while. And yeah, it can be brutal. You can hit your head real hard. So kayaking is definitely more dangerous. That is like for this R1 rafting because you're not connected to the boat. So if the boat flips upside down, you can just swim to shore. Um, so it is kind of safer in that regard. All right, hell yeah, carving it up. And that definitely is what I enjoy about R1 rafting. Now I tried river sup, but I was just like, no, that's the most dangerous thing you can do. You're standing up on a board in shallow rapids, and you can totally just fall into the river. And if you fall feet first, it's like super dangerous. And you can also kind of just bust up your ankles, knees and ankles. You know what I mean, just from falling into rocks. So definitely the R1 rafting. Yeah, not being connected to your boat. Now, if you do flip or swim, hell yeah, you better be getting back to your boat or hanging on to it. So that added element, um, definitely I try to choose rivers where I'm okay with swimming every rapid. You know what I mean? The second I fall out of my boat, my body's my second boat. You know what I mean? You should always have that in mind. There shouldn't be a rapid that you wouldn't swim. Now, if there's a rapid you're like, hell no, I don't want to swim there. Well, yeah, then make sure you don't swim. You know what I mean? Whether you're rafting or kayaking, uh, you know, it's all right to have that mentality of just like, no, we're going to put in the effort and then get ourselves way more dialed to where, you know what I mean, we're not going to swim in these rapids or these locations. But hell yeah, I definitely enjoy the side surf. I'm glad I spent uh, some time side surfing. Yeah, we do a couple more of those throughout the evening. And getting low. So side surfing, getting this really teaches you why a raft surfs. It's like if you're having a hard time surfing, you know, there's been times where like I get thrown out of the raft and then my boat just surfs in the wave. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, why can't I just surf in the wave? Well, you know what I mean. So this kind of like getting low. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah, when your boat just like go surfs, you know what I mean, better than you can surf. Yeah, you're just like yeah. So that's one aspect. You kind of get low in the boat, and it holds the boat at the bottom of the wave. You know what I mean? There's no tendency for you to get bucked to the top because you're kind of like the lowest weight in there. Oh, no, I think it really does have to do with physics too, where you're actually putting your center of mass, you know, definitely lower. I don't know. I'm doing some physics problems with rotational inertia. But anyway, uh, I guess my thought is if you're at the bottom of the boat compared to just sitting on the edge, I swear, like being on the edge, there's just a real big there's a real tendency for the wave to kick you to the top of the wave and then you get flushed off the back. But getting low, there's definitely way less of a tendency because now I think it's due to like gravity. You know what I mean? The wave actually has to lift my whole body weight up and over um, that foam pile right there, which it does, compared to just sitting on the tube. Maybe my you know, I mean, basically, even if I'm sitting on that tube and I'm in the wave, my whole center of mass is already up and over the top of the wave. I'm not super low in the wave, so it's just really easy for my weight to get on top of that wave, and I even just sit back like that. So that is the difference between, and you get kicked out real easy. So there is some physics there too. Yeah, keeping your body low can help stick you into smaller waves. All right, hell yeah. So yeah, you got that big wave pile. Hell yeah. So we're going back and forth on it. This is a good one for sure. Getting aggressive. Oh hell yeah. Oh perfect. Yeah, and then carve back and forth again. Didn't get kicked off. And there you'll see some like looks like rocks are like rolling down the river. It's all these ice chunks that are all like real dirty. It's just like muddy ice. And one of the kayakers was like, where's all this? Where's all this ice coming from? That's all dirty." And I was like, "I don't know, man." That's the end of that story. Uh, Hell yeah, we've been carving this up. Oh, and a spin? Oh hell, that's the best surf right there. You can just turn off the video. And then see, I have no idea. I'm going backwards. I have no idea what's happening. But I'm just trying not to flip the boat. I almost flipped the boat for sure. Um, but there you go. I'm definitely gonna rewatch anytime where I'm backwards. And at the end, if you stick to the end, I do some offside surfing. Like it gets pretty evening-ish. You know what I mean? The footage gets a little darker, but yeah, the offside. You know what I mean? So I'm really good on my left side. Now, if I paddle on the right, that's my offside. I'm terrible. Well, no, I'm getting a lot better. But when it comes to surfing, I don't have. I mean, it just feels totally foreign. It's really hard to even just keep my boat centered in the wave without it just instantly turning sideways. And you know what I mean? Last week or whenever I was at this wave, it was kind of the first time offside surfing. So that's not going to be for a while. But hell yeah. I'm just working the spin. Just kind of working this wave, I guess I call it a foam pile or whatever. The pile right there is a really fun feature today. It was just a lot bigger than last week, so I was just like, hell yeah, we're going to play around on it. And, for him kayaking, that's where he can really carve back and forth on that foam pile. And I just did a good job this, oh hell yeah, we do a little back surf. We did a pretty good job there, and I think one of these I can actually back surf and then catch the wave. All right, this time I'm trying to get all the way over there. You know what I mean? It's just too much energy, too fast. The second my boat bites, it's going to kick me off. So the solution to that is just high side more. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing I wanted to do is analyze all these clips. It's just like, why did I get kicked off so fast? Is there anything I could have done? Well, yeah, just really aggressively high-sided before it bites. You know what I mean? You're still low in the wave. The only reason you get kicked up and over is that like your boat bites and then kicks you off. Now, if you're vertical like this, or I guess facing the wave when it bites, it doesn't push you off as much, and it can really tack your nose into the wave a lot easier. So yeah, that's why surfing, straight at the wave is a lot easier to keep you in compared to sideways. Sideways, it's either going to flip you or just carry you up and over. And even this kayaker, you know what I mean? When you get pushed to the top, just instantly start, paddling. And then I'm getting better at that. And then paddling earlier. The second, I realize, oh, I'm going to the top of this wave. It's time to paddle back in. Instead of, getting to the top and kind of hitting that point of no return. At that point, you should get good at surfing where you're just like, hey, there's actually no chance of paddling back into this. So find that balance of hey, this is where I throw in the towel, conserve energy. But then there's a time where it's just like, hey, you can be aggressive. Even just right there, if I knew what the hell I was doing, I could have been way more aggressive and started back paddling into that. And so I want to analyze that clip, because I did get turned around. And, if I get turned around, a backstroke is what's going to hold me into the wave. And so I'm just kind of working on that side surf. It gets a little punchy, and but definitely I do some more side surfing where we hold it. Just because it also, holding that side surf, it makes the boat almost want to flip over. And so it's just really good practice to kind of feel your boat at an angle that you can tolerate. You know what I mean? So the boat's, even right now, is at a pretty decent angle. And so but I'm kind of sitting more in the boat. And so that's just good practice to be like, hey, I can handle this. And it's biting way more on the left. So so I can actually pry my boat. See, I throw in a pry just so it doesn't bite as much. And that time it bit on the right side. But, yeah, so I was pretty satisfied with that right side. Getting sideways, and if I do go sideways, it's going to bite. I don't want the back of my boat to bite into that wave. So then I just keep a pry. But hell yeah. Alright, see if we can do anything with this foam pile. See, right there I should have just been paddling. And, so right there is more opportunity to, that was too much of a delay. But I think I've been practicing kind of delaying on that foam pile so my boat can get a little higher and then I can actually turn the other direction. Alright, hell yes. This is another kayaker that joined. So there was, I guess, three people today surf this wave. So there you go. And I guess even just right away, this kayaker, good edge control, but also kind of leaning back. It's a small wave. You can do whatever you need to do to, like, stay on top of it. So just the aspect of leaning back, as a benefit to keep your nose up. And so I could even work on that. I do have a thwart that I'm sitting on or that's behind me. But that is one aspect that I don't do a lot of paddling where I'm trying to get the nose of my boat up and trying to get my weight to the very, very back of the boat. Because it's usually just really unstable. You have to be dead facing the wave, else you're going to turn sideways and get kicked off. Oh, hell yeah, getting surfed back in. So that was a good little skill. There you go. Hey, I did a back surf and then kept it. So that was sweet. Hell yeah, I'll definitely watch this one again. And there you go. So aggressively paddling before getting kicked off. Right there, you know what I mean? Again, paddling before you're going to get kicked off. Just kind of knowing like how much of the wave is going to want to kick you up and over. And hell yeah, we're back in it. And see, I just have no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? So there you go. I'm going to analyze that and be like, just kind of make small adjustments. Be like, yeah, you're going back in. Hang on. And then do like a quick weight shift maybe. But that one I just wasn't satisfied. I think I was going back in, but then I shifted my weight and then it kind of kicked me out. So being okay with having it throw you back in. All right, hell yeah, looking good. All right, just even staying in the center. But yeah, working left. If I'm working left, that's actually kind of a really good skill. Really easy to get to the right. But to get my boat back left is just a little bit hard because yeah, it'll turn me sideways. Um, but later we do some offside paddling, and honestly, this wave is set up to be paddled on the right side. So my left side is my strong side. See, even just right there, just the fact that I turn around and I just surf right into the wave. So towards the end of the video, I do spend a little bit of time working on my offside, and we get pretty decent. You know what I mean? So I can definitely say this session, yeah, went a lot better on the offside than last time. And you don't have to start from square one. It's just like skateboarding, trying to like learn how to ollie, go in the other direction. All right, hell yeah, let's watch this though. Kind of just spacing out, but yeah. So yeah, doing some side surfing, and then this just see I'm about to flip right there. You know what I mean? So this is just good practice to have your boat change angles. And it relates to the offside paddling, because one of the things when I was offside is I had no comfort level of having my boat like turn up at a steep angle. I just didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So when I'm on this left side, yeah, my boat can go at a really crazy angle, and I'm just totally fine with it. You know what I mean? And my boat's not going to flip. Even if it does flip, I'm kind of fine. I can just fall out. There's a couple times where I just fell out and kept the boat from flipping. But on the offside, I just have no confidence with the boat actually turning up. Being on the low side and having the boat kind of tip up the other direction. All right, working that pile. There you go. See, right there, I should have turned the boat a lot sooner. And just been more aggressive, that's for sure. See, right there, yeah, just be more aggressive. All right, hell yeah, this kayaker, he's surfing up that foam pile. You know what I mean? So just on that left side, that's the best part of the wave right now at this level. All right, there's that other kayaker in the background walking the kayak. So a lot of the kayakers will park in that parking lot on the other side of the river and kind of paddle down. Up on this side of the river is the park. You have the Caras Park. So that's kind of where I park. Weekends are free, but definitely Monday through Friday. I usually get there about 3 o'clock, so I don't have to pay for a couple hours of parking. Okay, yeah. So kayaks, you know what I mean, obviously can just shred back and forth. I guess my point here is, or what I want to talk about is just small waves. You know what I mean? Finding small waves and learning skills. Just the fact that this wave kicks you off and it's actually hard to learn, like some of these skills, is way better than this wave being too big and then flipping every time. You know what I mean? Because there's so many waves that are just a little bit too big when this is like kind of in at higher flow. Yeah, it's just too big where it's just like I can't learn a lot. You know what I mean? I'm just constantly high-siding and then going along for the ride. And that doesn't really build the skills that kayakers would build surfing waves, especially kind of like carving back and forth. So I really appreciate this level, how this wave is small but still catchable, and has small features like this foam pile over here where I can, like today's practice was just kind of proprioception. It's like, where are you located and where the boat's located. So I'm always trying to figure out, where my center of mass is in relation to that, the top of that foam pile, trying to carve back and forth on it. And usually just getting side surfed. But there was a few times where get side surfed on this left side and then turn the boat back to the right and then carve, coming left to right. So that worked out pretty good. And after doing more offside, it's like I'm getting good enough on the offside where, I'm satisfied with my surfs, because that was the other thing. I mean, if people are gonna watch from the observation deck or the bridge, I'm not just going to not entertain whoever's watching, and just do like a dull surf or get kicked out easy. So I do have a tendency to only do my strong side. But I've been getting good enough on my offside. I mean, none of that footage is yet, but it'll be towards the end. That I can kind of put on a show on my offside, where I can, yeah. So that's satisfying. So I can learn on my offside, because I think what I'm gonna find out is that I'm going to want to just, be on the side that's the best for the wave. But that'll take a while. It'll take me a while to get good on my offside, that I'm just, I can just jump back and forth and then figure out what the best position is. But I think that's going to be how I'm able to do like spins repeatedly, from a combination of getting good on my offside, already decent on my onside, and then figuring out how to combine those with if I'm ever backwards. You know what I mean? So if my boat goes in backwards, figuring out where to put my paddle even if I'm not looking at the wave. But yeah, especially with rafting, doing repeated spins, because I just don't have enough time, I don't think, to turn my body around. But I could. If I'm ever going in backwards, I might as well just turn my body around and then paddle offside. So that could be the first thing that I actually do, is let's say my boat got flipped around and I'm going in backwards. Well, guess what? I'll just turn my body around and I'm paddling on my offside. So I'll watch the footage of me, getting 180 and then getting back surfed, and then see if it's just way feasible just to like, hey, turn around, sit down, and then paddle offside. And then towards the evening, man, there was just ice coming from a lot of different locations. There was just more ice in the river, it seemed. That was for sure. There was a couple times where a huge chunk of ice, I guess just once, where I was surfing right here and then big old ice chunk kind of came underneath my boat. All right, hell yeah. Finally a good surf again. But yeah, getting kicked out, you know what I mean? Yeah, this wave, it's so interesting how sometimes I can actually do a longer surf, and then other times it's like, no, they're very quick. Alright, hell yeah. Do something. There you go. Kind of riding up in that pile. Oh, this is the time that I might be just high-siding. Yeah, this is perfect. Trying not to get bit. You know what I mean? Right there you get bit and then you get thrown out. So, yeah, towards the end of this video. Yeah, look at all that ice just... it looks like rocks are just rolling. It's just all dirty ice. Like muddy ice. Big chunks. They're all kind of round. It's just like they literally look like rocks in the river. It's just like, whoa, floating rocks. There you go, some big chunks. Alright, hell yeah. Getting more aggressive, but yeah. It's just like, that's the name of the game. The last two is just like, you have to be aggressive, you know what I mean? But you get tired out there, you just kind of want to, but yeah, just early, be aggressive and do your, your reaction times just got to be a lot faster. Because even just like that, yeah, anytime you gonna get just kicked over, it's just like, well, your reaction times could have been faster, it seems. But you only have so much energy in the tank, and I'm trying to maximize my energy out there. We're going as long as I can. Probably spending 2 hours out here getting an hour of footage. But hell yeah, there you go, carving back and forth. But yeah, it's still really difficult to kind of work that left side. There you go. At least we didn't get kicked out. There you go. So that's being aggressive. You know what I mean? And that was just being complacent, just knowing that was going to kick me over, or just throwing that in the mental playbook. There's just like, no, you're gonna. That's like that. That's where you get kicked off the top of the wave. So whether you shift your weight forward, you know what I mean? Don't let that happen. And there's a couple ways to not get kicked over a wave. One is just like prying, you know what I mean? So if you catch a wave right here, just to like throw in a decent pry, because that'll bring your boat back. So if I right now if I pry, it'll bring my boat back before it bites. Like once it bites, you don't want to pry; it'll just drag you off the wave. But before it does, like right now, I pry, you know what I mean, and that can keep you in the wave. So pry right now, and then it bites. So if I actually catch it again, pry, and then it bites. Because then you don't get thrown back over that wave. Alright, so I think just being, well, I was going to say be more aggressive, but that didn't look, yeah, that was a real sharp turn. But there you go, carving back and forth. Yeah, and just really wanting to work to that left side. Get on top of that foam pile. But it's difficult to get over there. You're kind of in a side surf. Oh, there you go. Well, let's do some, whoa. Alright, sweet. So I think that's the first time I fell out. I was able to hang on, no problem. Kind of got in that kayaker's way. But, yeah, ain't no thing. We climbed back in our boat. We had to paddle towards that shore with that kind of, at the end of the video, I kind of do a full, I kind of show you what's downriver, what's upriver, and how much ice is below this section. That's at the very end of the video. Yeah, and I just fell out of my boat, so this kayaker is going to be surfing it up a couple more times before I actually get back to the camera, turn it off, turn it back on again. But yeah, even for a kayaker, able to surf back and forth, but trying to do any spins on this, you know what I mean? You're going to get kicked off. Like that would be all right, back to the camera, getting it ready for little bit later in the evening. Sun's definitely down, and hell yeah. All right, I probably get tired. You know what I mean? You can only do so much of like every time paddling in is a lot of energy. But yeah, but I definitely put in little clips like that of just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Where you're just like, yep, even just paddling in and not making the wave. Oh, this is offside. That's why. Yeah. Sweet. So this is finally paddling offside, and holy Toledo. So I'm at least doing pretty decent, and it's pretty fun over there on the offside. That right side of that wave is pretty fun. And I definitely switch up. What I realized is I can't paddle into this right side on my offside. So I get in here and then switch it over. So now I'm offside. And we're doing really well. Even just holding that right there, I'm super satisfied with that. Okay, so that was the paddling on the strong side, and now I'm wanting to. Okay, switched it up to offside. Hell yeah! And yeah, it's a really strong wave on that right side, so I'm having a hard time. But at least it's good high side practice, and making sure my boat doesn't bite into that wave sideways. Okay, we're paddling offside. Hell yeah. Just trying to figure out. Whoa. Holy Toledo. And that was good. I actually kind of hung on with, dug in my heels just to stay with the boat, just to make sure the boat comes up over the wave. I definitely would not want to get separated from my boat, but hell yeah. So we had to swim, climb back in I guess just climb back in the boat, paddle to shore. All right, but this is offside. Oh, perfect. And it works really well entering on that left side. So that was a really good surf. So on this right side, I definitely have to paddle in on my strong side and then switch. Oh, there you go. So I try to do my offside on this right side, but look at that. I just get ejected. Okay, so paddle in on the strong side, switch to the offside. All right, getting a little bit better. Trying to make sure my boat doesn't get thrown to the right. So yeah, holding that angle to the left, that works out way better. But then still, too far angled left, get kicked out. Okay, so offside and then switch to this. Now I'm offside. So trying to enter this offside, and it really works for that side surf and then catch. So I'm doing a really good job of just kind of side surfing, holding that, and then turning the boat. And that was pretty fun. It was just kind of interesting how this wave is totally set up to surf on the right side. That's my overall takeaway. Where doing those offside surfs, they just feel way more dynamic. Okay, switch it up. But the boat is kind of constantly at an angle. It doesn't want to just drive in. So I guess my assessment is when I'm sitting on my offside, I'm way cantilevered. See how the left side of the boat just has no traction. And so I think that really comes into play. It really I can't just drive the boat in. I think when I'm sitting on my strong side, the weight is more centered. But that was pretty sweet. All right, hell yeah. And I'm going to say that one more time. So on my offside, way cantilevered. So if I just face the wave, it doesn't just drive in. It instantly wants to turn me sideways. So even like right here. Well, the next time I try to drive in straight, you'll see that the boat is way cantilevered, where it doesn't bite straight. So I'll definitely compare the footage from offside to my strong side. Because when the nose of the boat bites, you kind of want it evenly, like you want that surface tension to be on the nose, on kind of even on both sides. All right, that was even trying to paddle in strong side. It's just getting late, you know what I mean? Getting tired. That was the other thing. It's like, man, I did not want to flip, but I would have been fine with it, you know what I mean? All right, so that's even strong side. Didn't even switch to the offside. All right, let's see what we do. Paddle in on the strong side. Hopefully we switch it up. No, we're just surfing strong side on this one. Oh, there you go. So that was something. We'll take it. But yeah, I definitely see where I need to be way more aggressive. All right, it's getting really light. The ISO is getting crazy. Just trying to capture the last bit of light we can. So this is strong side. There you go. Get a little aggressive. Yeah, more doing. You know what I mean? That's. I mean, if you're gonna spend the energy, like you have to be way more. You have to anticipate just a lot quicker. That's kind of what I've noticed. Like even just that surf right there, there was just a lot more energy. You know what I mean? Instead of just letting it ride and getting kicked off. All right, this is still strong side, so hopefully we do some more offside paddling because that's always pretty fun. Oh, this is a good one. So I really work on angling the boat. Now it doesn't look like much, but heck yeah, I'm totally high siding the boat. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of. It looks like I'm totally stable, but no, my hip is really digging in on that left side of the boat, and I'm angling out, you know, trying to hold that. If I got bumped just a little bit, I might just fall out, which I don't want. But this is really good. I'm keeping that from happening. I'm keeping the side of my boat from purling and getting thrown off. So yeah, that was good practice. Oh, this is offside. Paddled in. Hell yeah. Okay, paddling in on the offside. There you go. This wave was made for this. And, shoot. So we don't catch it, though. But it is good practice to be kind of sideways down in that wave and having the boat tip up. Like I said, it's real awkward on this offside when the boat kind of tips up. But there's two things going on. I've already mentioned when I sit on this offside, I'm so far over on that tube that I think that comes into play, that it makes it more unstable. See, this whole left side of the boat wants to just pop up. And maybe that's making it more difficult to actually just face the wave and just kind of feel more solid. So there you go. I put in clips like that because I was trying to paddle in offside and you get kind of rejected, so. Alright, hell yeah, offside. Whoa. Alright, we're surfing though. There you go. So yeah, it's good practice. Just anything dynamic like that and trying to keep your composure or, you know, find your balance. Okay, so I switched it up to the offside. Going pretty good. Just trying to find what square without getting too sideways, right? Alright, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Alright, hell yeah, we're at Brennan's Wave. You know what I mean? You got the canopy, you got the Higgins Street Bridge. And yeah, there's a little ice today. Let me show you the ice. So you know what I mean? I guess it doesn't look like much, but you know what I mean? This shelf, it's all about a foot deep in here. So you know, you get here and you're just like, whoa, you know what I mean? If you swim, you just have a nice shelf up against the bank, but it is pretty shallow. So you can, you know what I mean? Out there's a kayaker in that middle wave. That doesn't surf my raft, but you know what I mean? Just kind of fun to catch some eddy lines. And then here's the main wave. And hell yeah. Yeah, just a little bit more snowy, a little bit more icy. But because it's kind of iced up on this channel and then kind of over there, it makes the wave a little bit cut off. Oh, and it's mainly due to this little piece of ice, you know what I mean? It cuts in the eddy. It makes the eddy just a little bit more substantial. And so you get just a little bit more flow through here. And it makes the wave a little taller, but definitely less sticky, maybe on that far side, just because it feels like there's a little bit more flow. There might just be more flow. All right, that's the wave. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and that's a video.